They mocked Earth's fragile body, then saw what human endurance really means. The Galactic Council chamber erupted in what could only be described as laughter, though the sounds varied wildly across species. The Zephyrians' crystalline chimes, mixed with the Karathi's deep rumbling, while the insectoid Vextar clicked their mandibles in rhythmic patterns. At the center of it all stood Ambassador Chen Wei, representing the newest member of the Council, humanity. "You cannot be serious," wheezed General Thrackmore of the Karathi Empire, his forearms gesturing dismissively. "Your species wishes to participate in the endurance trials. Look at yourselves. Soft skin that tears, brittle bones that snap, organs that fail if deprived of oxygen for mere minutes." The Zephyrian representative, a being of living crystal named Shardsinger Veltara, resonated with musical mockery. "Our scans show humans die from temperature variations that we consider mild comfort zones. How do you expect to survive trials that have claimed the lives of our strongest warriors?" Ambassador Chen remained perfectly still, his dark eyes moving calmly from speaker to speaker. The human delegation had expected this reaction. For 3 standard cycles they had endured similar dismissals, their requests to join various military and exploration ventures denied due to their physiological limitations. "Perhaps," Chen said quietly, his voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber despite its gentle tone, "the honored council would permit a demonstration before making their final judgment." High Arbiter Zondar, an ancient being whose species had founded the council millennia ago, leaned forward with interest. Unlike the others, the arbiters were known for their patience and wisdom. "What manner of demonstration do you propose, human Chen?" "The Karathi are renowned for their strength." Chen nodded respectfully toward General Thrackmore. "The Zephyrians for their resilience to environmental extremes. The Vextar for their speed and precision. Each species excels in specific areas where humans appear weak." He paused, meeting the eyes of every representative present. "But perhaps the honored council would accept a simple test of persistence?" The chamber fell silent. Persistence was valued above almost all other qualities in galactic society. It was what separated civilized species from mere animals. General Thrackmore's laugh boomed through the space. "Very well, soft skin. What do you propose?" "A hunt," Chen replied simply. "On Kepler 442b in the equatorial regions. No technology, no weapons, just natural abilities. The prey will be a thornback ravager." The silence that followed was absolute. Even the usually chattering Vextar went completely still. Thornback ravagers were apex predators, nearly 3 meters tall with natural armor plating and razor-sharp claws. They were also impossibly fast, capable of sustained speeds that exceeded most species' maximum sprint. "Impossible," whispered Shardsinger Veltara. "No single being has ever successfully hunted a ravager alone. They are too fast, too strong, too—" "Then it should be a fair test," Chen interrupted gently. 3 days later, orbital cameras tracked the hunt across the scorching plains of Kepler 442b. General Thrackmore had volunteered for the challenge, confident that his species' superior strength and stamina would prove human weakness once and for all. The Ravager burst from cover like a living missile, its powerful legs propelling it across the rocky terrain at speeds that made the watching council members dizzy. Thrackmore, despite his bulk, gave chase with impressive speed, his forearms pumping as he bounded after the creature. The Karathi general was strong, stronger than any human could hope to be. His endurance was legendary even among his own people. But after 6 hours of pursuit across increasingly difficult terrain, he began to slow. After 8 hours, he was stumbling. After 10, he collapsed, his massive chest heaving as his body finally succumbed to exhaustion. The human, a seemingly unremarkable woman named Sarah Martinez, who had volunteered for the hunt, was still moving. She wasn't fast. The cameras showed her jogging at a pace that was almost leisurely compared to the Ravager's explosive sprints. But while the creature would dash ahead in bursts of incredible speed before stopping to rest, panting heavily in whatever shade it could find, Martinez simply continued. Hour after hour, she maintained the same steady pace, The Ravager would disappear over ridges and through valleys only to have the human appear behind it again, still jogging, still following. Her face showed the strain. Sweat poured down her features. Her breathing was heavy, but she never stopped. The pursuit entered its second day. Council members who had initially watched with amusement now stared in fascination. The Ravager, one of the galaxy's most feared predators, began to show signs of panic. Its rest periods grew longer, its sprints shorter. Several times it turned to face the human, but Martinez would simply stop, wait, and resume her pursuit when the creature inevitably turned to flee again. By the third day, the mighty predator was stumbling. Its tongue lolled from its mouth and its once fluid movements had become awkward and desperate. When Martinez finally closed the distance, the Ravager simply lay down, too exhausted to continue. The human didn't strike a killing blow. Instead, she sat down beside the defeated creature and gently placed her hand on its flank, her own chest rising and falling steadily. "You see," Ambassador Chen's voice came through the communications array. "Humans developed on a world where persistence was survival. We are not the strongest or the fastest or the most resilient to extremes, but we are perhaps the only species in the galaxy that can simply keep going." General Thrackmore, recovered enough to speak from his medical bed, rumbled thoughtfully, "Your people are endurance predators." "We are," Chen confirmed. "And that endurance extends beyond physical pursuit. It shapes how we approach problems, conflicts, exploration, everything. When others sprint and rest, we maintain pace. When others seek quick victory, we prepare for long campaigns. When others despair at setbacks, we adapt and continue." The High Arbiter's ancient voice resonated through the chamber. "The trials await you, human Chen. We are curious to see how persistence fares against our greatest challenges." As the council session ended, representatives from a dozen species approached the human delegation with new respect in their eyes. They had mocked Earth's fragile children, but now they understood humanity's true strength had never been in their bodies. It was in their absolute, terrifying refusal to give up.